Hello and welcome to my 87th water review for YouTube. And this week, the water I'll be reviewing was one that I picked out from the store. However, I ended up getting a request to review it as well from Gerark on my channel. So thank you for the request, and I will be fulfilling the request in today's review for Friday, February 28th, 2020, the last review of February. And that request was for the Walmart Great Value store brand Natural Spring Water. And Walmart itself started in 1962 by Sam Walton, who opened his first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas in the United States. They would end up coming to Canada in 1994 by purchasing 122 Woolco grocery stores, which was the Canadian subsidiary of the Australian grocery store chain Woolworths, which is kind of a little interesting fact there that I didn't even know about. And then today they have over 400 stores in Canada, and I'm sure thousands across the United States and the rest of the world. But Great Value is their store brand, which the name kind of gives it away what they're trying to go for, giving you the best value for your money. And in this review, we will see if Great Value really is a great value in terms of their natural spring water offering. A little bit of extra information about Walmart. They have a lot of good CSR initiatives on their website. They talk about how they're trying to reduce the amount of energy they use in their stores, as well as trying to get their sourcing of energy from green sources. And then they also talk about their reduction in plastic by getting rid of plastic bags, and some other initiatives such as the one printed on the bottle, which talks about the fact that this bottle is made from entirely recycled plastic. Now, I will link in the description below all of their sustainability initiatives, as well as some more information about the Walmart website. However, what I was disappointed to see was there wasn't a whole lot of information about the Great Value brand or this product specifically on their website. Really, any information you're going to get about this product is from the bottle itself. It's all printed on the bottle. Now, talking about the bottle, we'll go over the bottle design and materials, and just like every other cheap water brand, the plastics in this bottle really aren't that great. The plastics for the bottle are very cheap, although definitely not the cheapest I've seen. It still is quite crinkly, as you can hear from the sound. And I'm sure that gets even worse as you drink the water. Right now it's not as bad, but it does feel quite nice in the hands. Definitely not the highest quality plastic, but definitely not the worst as well. The cap itself isn't great as well. It's made out of a cheap, harsh plastic to the hand, and it is quite small as well. And the label itself is just a simple paper label that's very poorly secured to the bottle. It's just glued in one or two spots. And because it's made out of just paper, it is prone to ripping and other damage, so not great. However, the label itself, while not remarkable in any way, just has a simple utilitarian design. On the front, they have the Great Value logo, as well as it says Natural Spring Water, and they have a little water graphic on the front. And for some reason, they've printed information about the water on the front, such as their total dissolved solids at 290 ppm, as well as the source of their water, which is Feversham, Ontario, just north of Toronto in Ontario. And this is actually a town that's known for their spring water, and a lot of other companies source their water from there, including Walmart with their Great Value brand. On the side, they have their information about the fact that this bottle is 100% recycled plastic, which is great. A nice little CSR initiative there. And then I was very surprised to see that they include all three tables I normally look for. So they include an ingredients list, and they also include a nutrition facts table and a really tiny little mineral table as well, but it is included there, and I'm very happy to see that they've included all three tables on the bottle. However, other than that, just a simple blue label with some white contrast writing on it. Very simple, really function over form with this entire design, but I guess it gets the job done and brings the price down to give you that quote-unquote great value. Now we'll move on to how does Great Value water taste and smell. Now what was kind of weird was just smelling the water out of the bottle itself. I don't know if it's the bottle. I'm assuming it's the bottle, but it might be the water as well. It gives kind of a strange, sweet, salty smell to it. It smells a lot like McDonald's French fries. I know that's kind of a weird connection, but for some reason the connection I'm getting when smelling the top of this bottle is McDonald's French fries. So that's kind of weird, but let's see what the water itself smells like. The water itself is very neutral, no really strong smells coming off of it, maybe a slight sweetness, but really just a very neutral nose. Now, on the taste. Now, in terms of mouthfeel, you do get a little bit of that kind of, the best way I describe it is kind of like a soft syrupiness, and I find this a lot with the cheap plastic bottled waters, where the plastic almost imparts kind of a soft mouthfeel to it. I'm not a huge fan of it. That's the best way to describe it, is kind of like a plasticky syrupiness, and with all this information about like microplastics leaching into water from these cheap water bottles, I probably wouldn't keep this in like a hot car or expose it to heat. Mine's been in the fridge, so it's really been in the best environment possible for getting a great taste out of this water, and it still does give it kind of a weird mouthfeel. However, I'm pleased to report the taste is fairly neutral, a little bit of a metallic-ness to it, but really not a whole lot of flavors coming out, which is really the best thing you can expect from one of these cheap store brand waters. Really, you're not going to get any interesting flavors from any sort of complex mineral breakdown or anything. Just a very simple, neutral taste overall. Although they do have some minerals in it, so it's a little bit of a harder water. They have around 70 ppm of calcium and 25 ppm of magnesium, as well as some trace elements of other minerals, including some sulfates, as well as some chloride. But really overall just a very neutral taste and nose, which is really great for one of these cheap value brand waters. However, I would be careful putting this in the heat or leaving it in your car or anything like that, because I really would expect it to impart some gross plasticky taste to it. However, now we'll go on to final score and conclusions about this great value water. Is it really a great value? In terms of company history and interestingness, the Walmart website was quite good, nicely designed, a lot of information, a lot of interesting information about the company itself, about the history of the company, and a whole host of CSR initiatives, which was great to see. However, there really wasn't any information about the Great Value brand or about this water in particular, no information about the source or anything like that. So in terms of company history and interestingness, they get 1.25 out of 2.5 points. In terms of bottle design and materials, really the plastics themselves aren't great. The bottle cap is really cheap and small, and the label itself is prone to being damaged and poorly secured to the bottle. However, the label is really functional. It has a good amount of information about the source, as well as including those 3 tables, which was excellent. So I am giving them 1.5 out of 2.5 points for bottle design and materials. In terms of taste and nose, the taste isn't horrible. I would be careful again about keeping it in the heat with the cheap plastic bottle. It would, I would assume, impart a taste of the plastic into the water, but by keeping it in the fridge, my tasting experience was fairly neutral, and in that case, I'm pretty happy with it. Not a whole lot, a little bit of kind of a weird mouthfeel to it, and that strange smell coming off the bottle, but that didn't come off on the taste itself. So I'm giving them 2.25 out of 4 points for taste and nose. Now it comes on to value, and the 1.5 liter bottle I purchased myself cost 87 cents at my local Walmart, which really isn't a great value. However, if you buy a 24 pack of their half-liter bottles, the price comes out to just 16.5 cents per liter, a little bit less than that, which is pretty cheap, and maybe that's a good value for you. Personally, at that price, I could get a better value by just buying a reusable water bottle and filling it from my tap. That really is the best value, and that's where I think the argument for buying these cheap waters really breaks down. You're better off just reusing your own bottle and saving that 16 cents and reducing your plastic output and stuff like that. It's hard to justify, but I guess if you really need a cheap water, if you're going camping or something, maybe the best value for you would be that Great Value brand. So overall, their final score is 5.5 out of 10, a pass for this cheap store brand water. And really, I guess it is kind of a decent value. I don't know if I'd call it a great value. Your best value really is just filling up your own water bottle at home. But as far as cheap water brands go, I'm mildly impressed by this Walmart Great Value brand water. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Walmart's Great Value Natural Spring Water. Please like and subscribe, comment down below which waters you'd like me to review in the future, which foods you'd like me to review in the future, or really anything you'd like me to review in a future video, and I will see you next week for my next review. Thank you.